If you saw it live, it was absolutely insane. Why did this referee turn a blind eye while an opponent tried to take Caitlin Clark's eyes out? Since the Indiana Fever game against the Connecticut Sun, there has been continuous uproar against the officiating referee for a flagrant foul on Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark, which was not called during the game, and instead, a Fever player got ejected for defending Clark. But this wasn't just another missed call or heated game moment. What happened that night sparked a conversation far bigger than basketball. On June 17, 2025, the Indiana Fever defeated the Connecticut Sun 88-71 to secure a spot in the final of the Commissioner's Cup. Despite a great performance from Caitlin Clark, who finished strong with 20 points and 6 assists, this was far from the main attraction of the game. The game has become a talking point in the media for a number of controversies. The match had everything from hard fouls to heated moments between players of both teams and the officials, and a whole lot of confusion. The drama had been brewing in the pot throughout the game, but the moment that really set the basketball world on fire happened in the third quarter when Caitlin Clark was driving up the court and got featured in a physical play where she was poked in the eye by Connecticut's J.C. Sheldon, not very far from where the referee stood on the court. But to the surprise of the Indiana players, no foul was called. But it wasn't over. As Clark stops the play to protest and ask for a foul, Sheldon's teammate Marina Mabrey runs up to her and slams her straight to the floor with no attempt at the ball whatsoever. Still, there was no call from the referee, no flagrant, no technical, as the players from both teams gathered and the crowd erupted. The protest that followed led to multiple fouls and even a brawl later in the game in what has been described by many as the most controversial night of the new WNBA season. One would expect a technical foul against at least 2 Connecticut Sun players, and that didn't happen, but the drama was far from over. Seeing her teammate get hit like that with no call from the officials, Caitlin Clark's teammate Sophie Cunningham decided to take matters into her own hands. Just a few minutes later, she delivered a hard foul on J.C. Sheldon, a clear retaliation for poking Clark earlier. She grabbed Sheldon by the neck as she drove towards the paint and pulled her to the ground, and a full-on brawl began right on the court between both teams. Some viewers saw it as a justified act, considering what happened to Clark and how the referees let it slide. Others, however, called it emotional and unprofessional on Cunningham's part. The hard foul and the scuffle that followed got Cunningham ejected from the game and later hit with a $400 fine. But Cunningham wasn't the only one punished for the brawl. Connecticut Suns players Lindsey Allen and J.C. Sheldon also picked up for their involvement in escalating the situation. That moment sparked an immediate wave of reactions both inside the arena and across social media. But one question echoed louder than the rest. How was Sophie punished so quickly while Clark was taking hits all game with no calls from the officials? The events of the night reignited the age-old question of, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, are the refs picking sides? Why has the WNBA still failed to protect its greatest asset? If you thought the drama ended on the court, you couldn't be more wrong. After the game, Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back. Speaking to reporters, she made it clear her foul on Sheldon wasn't just about those 2 plays, it was about what she called a season-long pattern of the officials failing to protect Caitlin Clark. And in her eyes, that bias had finally pushed her over the edge. Ever since she made her WNBA debut, it seemed as if Caitlin Clark is being targeted by every player in the league, and the league has not done anything tangible to protect its biggest star. Although Cunningham used the term its biggest stars and didn't name drop Caitlin Clark directly, it was clear who she was talking about. Cunningham is known for being very outspoken in her defense of Caitlin Clark, so it wasn't so surprising to hear her criticize the refs. But it got more concerning when even the Indiana Fever's head coach, Stephanie White, spoke up. She made it clear she was frustrated, saying the refs never really took control of the game, and this wasn't the first time it happened. Sophie explained that all season long things like this have been happening. She admitted she understands being a ref isn't easy, but said even after players and teams have complained to the WNBA, nothing has changed to protect players like Caitlin Clark. She didn't stop there. When asked by a journalist if it was just a bias against her players or a league-wide issue, she replied that the whole league has a refereeing issue. Soon, every media house in the country was chiming in and contributing their 2 cents on the issue. Media outlets, fans, and former players all had something to say. Popular defender of Caitlin Clark, sport journalist Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports even tweeted, "Imagine not kicking Marina Mabrey out after she assaults the face of the league, just a common tech? Sick League WNBA. The tweet got people talking. Because love her or hate her, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA right now. She's brought in record-breaking views and ticket sales. So when she gets knocked down and the refs say nothing, it raises eyebrows. And when another player gets ejected for what feels like a lesser hit, it starts to feel personal.
Mabry doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
And this isn't the first time Clark has been targeted. From the unwarranted hit from Angel Reese to the blindside bump from Kennedy Carter, there has been a pattern of Clark taking some rough hits in her rookie season, and she barely gets calls that go in her favor. Many excused it as an initiation right into the league as a rookie, but she's no longer a rookie, while others think it's an envy problem. Renowned journalist Robin Lundberg called out the WNBA refs for not protecting Caitlin Clark enough.
You see Caitlin Clark on the receiving end of something, and it's not called correctly. In fact, she gets a technical foul after getting poked in the eye and then shoved to the floor.
And letting the attacks against her cross the line. You know it's getting out of hand when even NBA players are chiming in. Former Celtics legend Kevin Garnett showed his support for Cunningham's actions.
When you don't go to help a guy up, or if P fall, none of us run to him. Or when you see a guy fall and you don't see teammates pick him up or pick her up, that's what your team is.
So what did the WNBA do about all this? Well, the WNBA Association of Referees issued a public statement justifying why Cunningham was ejected from the game and fined. According to the statement, she was fined not just for the Sheldon foul, but also for a moment where she pulled down Alyssa Thomas earlier in the game, and escalating unsportsmanlike conduct when she engaged in the brawl. The statement also said that the offense on Clark by Sheldon is not enough to call a flagrant or technical foul. The bigger question is, does the WNBA have a refereeing problem, or is it just a double standard against Clark? Fans on social media seem to think so. One fan tweeted, "Every team needs a lethal enforcer like Sophie. She saw her teammate getting bullied for no reason and made sure the other team knew not to F with her teammates anymore. Respect." Both Cunningham and Clark got support from fans online, as Cunningham saw a surge in her Instagram followers and jersey sales immediately after videos of her defending Clark went viral on the internet. Hashtags like #Justice for Cunningham and #Justice for Caitlin trended on social media. But Clark wasn't keeping her head down and letting others fight all her battles for her as she sank a powerful three from downtown towards the end of the game and made sure to let the Connecticut bench know it was impossible to stop her. Caitlin Clark may be tough, but the league still has a responsibility to protect the stars who are bringing in the fans and the attention. If the hard hits keep coming and the whistles stay silent, it won't just be the players losing their cool. It'll be the fans walking away too. Are the refs too slow to protect Caitlin Clark, yet quick to punish anyone who stands up for her? Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.